solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Very good. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ma'am. Will you please state your name for the record and spell your last name for our court reporter?
Lorna Allen. Lorna Allen. Last name Allen.
And Ms. Allen, just make sure you speak up into that microphone, okay, so everybody can hear you and the court reporter can take down everything that you're saying.
Okay.
What is your relationship to Sean Gathright, ma'am?
He's my grandson.
Okay. Are you his mother? Is your daughter, I assume?
Yes, she is.
And were you involved? We've heard a couple stories. Were you involved in Mr. Gathwright's upbringing at all?
Yes, during visits and when he was younger, when he was maybe a toddler, he spent a couple months with me when his parents went on military services.
Okay. Was that up in New York?
Yes.
And how would you describe Sean as a child or as he grew up?
He was a happy baby, friendly laugh, explore his environment. He was a good baby.
And how did you, well, let me ask you this. Do you still live in New York?
I go back and forth.
To where? To Florida?
To Florida.
So how often do you think over the years and would you see Sean?
During holidays, Christmas, maybe sometime Thanksgiving, and maybe sometime in the summer.
And he would come, if he was in Jacksonville, would come to see you?
He would come to see me, yes.
And when he wasn't with you physically, did you communicate with him at all?
Yes, via phone.
Tell me about, do you have any, from the time that he was living with you or memories over the holidays, any stories or memories that stick out to you about your grandson?
There's a lot. He was the life of the party. He would give us jokes. We would laugh. He would dance. He'd tell us about his cooking. I remember one Thanksgiving. We were spending Thanksgiving in New York. And we were cooking, and he came upstairs with a bag. And he was saying, waving the bag like this. I didn't know what was in the bag, but there was a surprise on the menu that I didn't know about. So they asked me, it was time for me to go upstairs and get dressed. And it was alligator tail. And they quickly prepared the alligator tail. It came down, it was like a deep fried tail. We came down to the table. And they said, okay, we're going to start eating. And we didn't know what it was, but it looked so good. It looked more like shrimp. And when we tasted it, we all said, this is good. So we were all eating, and he knew, but he said, doing like this, and we didn't realize he was wagging the tail of the alligator. So when we finished eating, he said, okay, do you want to know what you just ate? And nobody knew what it was, but it was delicious. And he said, alligator tail. And everybody started to, say, oh, well, we ate it and nothing happened. So, it was very funny, but it was a good meal. And he kept that as a secret.
Did he like to cook?
Yes. He even made a little video about some meal he was cooking. But when he finished and, he's tasting this meal, and on TV they said, it's so good. And he said, it was good, but he turned his head away. And then he said, yuck, it wasn't that good.
It needed some work.
Yes.
Was he helpful to you in the kitchen?
Very helpful. He wanted to learn our, style of cooking, the seasoning that we use and how we do it. And he enjoyed our culture food. So he was always there trying to learn how to cook stuff. And he always tell me, oh, I love your cooking.
And we heard from your son about, you maintaining a faith religious home. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that. How did you impart that on your children and grandchildren?
I grew up very religious with my parents. So they have to be respectful to each other, and the parents in the home, they have to do their duties. Their rooms must be clean. They say their grace, no swearing or anything in the house. Respect everybody around, and we don't swear. We go to church, they go to Sunday school, and it's a part of us. We grew up,
And when you weren't living in the same state as Sean, do you know if he still went to church or Sunday school?
I know he went to the local Baptist church, and I don't remember his age, but he was maybe about 9, 10, or between 9 and 11. He requested to be baptized, and they did baptize him.
Were you there for that?
I wasn't there for that, but they called me and let me know.
How would you describe just his character? If I would ask you to say, what is Sean like as a person?
He's self-disciplined. He's respectful. He's dependable. He's fair.
How was he towards family and his sister?
They love him because he was so funny. So they love him.
You said he was the life of the party.
Yeah, he was the life of the party.
Do you still maintain a relationship with your grandson?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how do you do that now?
Once in a while, he would make a call to me, and I accept the call.
And will you continue to do that throughout his life?
I will forever, as long as I'm alive.
Here, may I have a moment?
Yes.
I'll pass by this
Okay, Russ?
one. No questions, Judge.
All right, may this witness be excused?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Maya. Free to go. Okay, so